Down this guy, he's suspected of vandalizing Fargo's federal court building.
Plus, why medical experts are warning women who are trying to get pregnant to stay away from the internet for cheap solutions. But first, new information this morning on the shooting death of a 6-year-old boy in Moorhead. A man is in the Cass County Jail accused of illegally possessing the gun that killed the child in March. The Minnesota U.S. Attorney's Office says 33-year-old Philip Jones Jr. left a loaded pistol at his North Moorhead home.
Court documents say the victim was playing with other children when they found the gun and it went off. There were no adults home at the time. Authorities say DNA connected Jones to that gun. We are getting a look at a tense situation in a Las Vegas police interrogation room. It's the moment a Nevada murder suspect grabs the gun of a Las Vegas police detective. The man lunges toward a detective and then grabs her holstered handgun.
He struggles with officers even while handcuffed to the table. Then other detectives rush in to help control the situation. They end up getting the gun out of his hand without any shots fired. The suspect is accused of beating a 2-year-old child to death. The U.S. House has joined the Senate and voted to make Juneteenth a national federal holiday. The bill passed 415 to 14, with Democrats hoping President Joe Biden will sign it into law by Saturday.
The June 19th holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States is already celebrated as a state or ceremonial holiday in 47 states and the District of Columbia. If signed into law, it will become the country's 11th federal holiday. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is asking for more flexibility with CRP acres to help ranchers dealing with reduced feed availability because of our extreme drought conditions. Fall 2020 through spring 2021 was the driest on record in North Dakota since record keeping started 127 years ago.
More than 100,000 acres, or 156 square miles, of the state have actually burned this year in wildfires. Fargo police are asking for help identifying this person.
He's a suspect in a recent vandalism at the federal courthouse downtown. Contact FPD if you have any information on him.
It's now 8 minutes before 7 o'clock. Let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green to see what we can expect temperature-wise today after a hot one yesterday.
Yeah, we're still looking at some warm weather today, but perhaps not quite as hot yesterday. And more sunshine. You could see that out in our view in the Northern Valley. We've got lots of blue sky up by Donaldson and the St. Vincent area. Cavalier looking nice and bright in Drayton. And I just want to point out, it's nice to see these green fields and green grass along the roadside as well. But we could certainly use more rain here. And we don't really have a lot coming our way today. Just a slight chance for a few of these showers down in South Dakota to bring in a drop or two to those living along the state line area back over into west central Minnesota as this moves eastward. It'll bring about a few more clouds, more partly cloudy in the south during the morning hours, and then in the north again a lot more sunshine here. But this is mainly passing by into South Dakota here this morning. We'll continue to monitor that for you though. Temperatures nice and mild to start off. We're at 62 in Fargo, 56 in Grand Forks, looking at some 60s more into Lakes Country, 50s along the international border and out to the west. And our winds are on the light side too. They'll be more northwesterly today. And sometimes we'll see the winds gusting into the 20s, but not too strong here. Here's a look at your forecast as you're stepping out the door this morning and throughout the day. We're going to watch those temperatures rise back into some mid 80s for your high today. So warm again. Not as sweltering as those 90s we saw in parts of eastern North Dakota yesterday. We'll have the mostly sunny conditions for most of us, and eventually those clouds will move out in the south as well. So let's talk about that chance for some rain coming up here. Today, just a couple of sprinkles in the south. Tomorrow, some up in the north along the international border, but more measurable, widespread rain. More likely as we head into the weekend. Not during the day Saturday, but Saturday night we see that we're looking at the potential for widespread rain or even some thunder showers with that too. And that carries over into Father's Day. So that might hamper some Father's Day plans, but it's good to see that we've got some rain coming our way this weekend. And here's the rainfall potential through Sunday night. Lots of areas in green here indicating that we could have at least a ½ inch of rain to an inch. And then some places in yellow here, perhaps an inch of rain or more. So some nice widespread areas of rainfall potential. And of course, we've been talking about this. It'll bring about some cooler weather for us as well.
Sounds great. Thank you, Lisa.
President Joe Biden says the tone of the talks with Russian leader Vladimir Putin were positive. During their meeting yesterday, the two leaders agreed to return ambassadors to each other's capitals after they were withdrawn earlier this year.
President Biden told Putin that certain U.S. critical infrastructure should be off limits for cyber attacks. Putin described the summit as constructive, saying both countries will begin consultations on cybersecurity. A Fargo man and downtown business owner is warning others after losing more than $1,500 when his accounts on Facebook were hacked. The hack also left him locked out of both his personal and business profiles, he thought for good.
After multiple attempts to get back into his account, Rob Thompson reached out to our whistleblower hotline. Within hours, our reporter contacted Facebook and his profiles were then restored. But Thompson says he doesn't want this to happen to anyone else.
You always think, oh, that'll never happen to me. Well, I thought that, and it happened to me.
Thompson is urging other business owners to change their passwords and make sure two-factor authentication is on so that you don't end up in the same boat. Some women trying to get pregnant through in vitro fertilization are turning to social media to help them afford the chance to start a family. But health experts are warning against using this method. A whistleblower told us she was trying to buy IVF medication off of social media, but was caught in the middle of a scam to steal her money.
And she's not alone. There's a social media hashtag called IVF Candy. That puts women in contact with others selling, buying, or donating fertility drugs. But buying other women's unused meds is a risk.
If you're getting them from something you just Googled or were advertised on Facebook, then you don't know if you're actually getting what you ordered, or counterfeit, or something expired, or not stored properly.
Health experts say many fertility clinics offer scholarship programs or discount programs that help making buying in vitro fertilization more affordable. The in vitro drugs should only be received from your doctor or pharmacy.
Selling an in vitro fertilization drug or any other prescribed medication is against the law. Christy Dower, an advocate for many nonprofits and programs here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, is now the one in need of help from our community. In January of this year, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. The Lend a Hand Up program ran a benefit last night to help her raise some money.
She has worked hand in hand with Lend a Hand Up in setting up for benefits of countless others, but this is the first time she has been the recipient. For more information on how you can help Christy, go to our website or the VNL News app and find this story.
The Red River Zoo is giving back to the dads in our area that do so much for our families. Dads get in free this Sunday.
And explaining everything they can see at the zoo and what they have in store for Father's Day is the Valley Today's Brian Sherrod. He joins us live this morning. And Brian, what animals are we showing off today?
Well, good morning, Jordan and Lisa. And actually, I'm going to let Sally answer that question for me because these are new animals that I've actually never even seen before. So, Sally, what kind of animal are we by?
Yeah, we are behind the scenes at the zoo with our Szechuan Takin. These animals are really cool and exceptionally rare. So we're one of the very few zoos in North America to house Szechuan Takin. They are a national treasure of China. They are an endangered animal, and so that's why we thought we'd feature them on this Father's Day story, because we are really well known for breeding Szechuan Takin. So our male here is actually father to many little babies, including the one you see right over there. This is our spring baby. She was just born this spring, and so we're right now in the behind the scenes area before they go on to exhibit. So she was born here in Fargo, and then she'll be placed at another zoo somewhere else in North America here once she's ready to leave mom.
Perfect. So like you just mentioned before, we can't get very close to them. We have to be up here.
Yes, this is a really cool behind the scenes spot. Szechuan Takin are beautiful animals, but they are dangerous. They're about 800 pounds, and they do like to use the force of their head, so we don't allow our keepers to go in. So we've created this really cool exhibit up on the top here where you can open the doors without actually going in with them.
Perfect. And of course, this is great for the fathers to be able to enjoy as well.
Yeah, I'm just really excited about Father's Day. It's so wonderful to see people out this summer enjoying the zoo. Even though it's been super hot, people are coming out. And of course, on Father's Day, we're going to say thank you to all you dads, you grandfathers, you father figures out there. Just say thank you for the work you do to take care of those kiddos by come on to the zoo. We'll pay for your admission. It's free admission for dads this weekend.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sally. Appreciate that. And Jordan and Lisa, we're going to toss it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, that is such a cool animal there. Also, I do love how we had it on our graphic there. So grandfathers, fathers, and father figures as well.
Yep.
So I think that's a really great touch. Brian Sherrod reporting live at the zoo this morning. Thank you.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question, 63% of people who take road trips agree that this is the most important part of a successful road trip.
The answer, good music or audiobooks, perhaps a podcast, or just bring me along and bring Lisa, and we will sing the Proclaimers for you, as we have already determined. A little little.
miles.
500 miles. Every road trip needs it. The Today Show and CBS This Morning, they're just about to start, but the Valley today, it rolls on. We'll have more live up-to-the-minute news and weather for you right now on the CW.